This week could make or break the stock market rally. Historically, August is the worst month in the calendar year. So, when you factor in that there's a Putin and Trump sit down meeting to happen, key inflation data, some big tech earnings, which are all AI plays, let's face it, the AI push is very real at the moment. We have a brilliant rally continuing in the crypto market. But what happens if this data is not right? What happens if this month is going to break the stock market? Well, we're going to have a look at some key data. We're going to have a look at some journalist reports, and we're also going to have a look at my personal portfolio and get a gauge of how I'm going to play the coming weeks, especially this week before the bell rings tomorrow. This is the channel you'll want to be checking out. Welcome back, everyone, to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you are all well. Let's get straight into what Wall Street is talking about on Reuters. The Wall Street week ahead inflation data to test stocks as some investors brace for rally to pause. The CPI data for July is due on Tuesday after June data shows some tariff impact. Again, these tariffs have been in place now for a while, and it was always going to take a while for these to start affecting the markets, and that's what all eyes are going to be on. How is these markets coping with such crazy changes to the economics of many of these countries that are being impacted? There is also conversation still happening with China. How's all that going to play out? What is the data telling us? That's what we're looking for on Tuesday. Rates cuts bets rise in wake of weak employment data earlier this month. Trump has already came out and saying he's going to fire the guy that's produced this report. It's not correct. But listen, the data is correct. Let's be honest. So the employment's starting to slow down. That's one of the key things that I've talked about in other videos. If employment starts to suffer, that's a metrics that would suggest things aren't as rosy. So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. Now the S&P is currently up over 8% in 2025, hovering around record highs. Stock market's still performing very, very well. That's why we're still balls deep in it. Well, what does it mean when all this data starts to swing the other way? So we're going to look. What's this? You want to say hello to people? What are you doing? You want to say it? What do you got? Thank you. Have kids that just give you random things to smell. Sorry about that. But anyway, what to expect in the markets this week, the latest inflation figures and earnings and more. So Investopedia is also reporting on the same things that was just discussed there. But we do have several companies reporting this week, which are quite large AI plays. So again, you want to see the AI plays continuing on. There is a lot of AI euphoria in the markets, in my opinion. So you just want to see the likes of Cisco, the cloud computing stuff, CoreWave, and those types of companies forming well. You want to get an update on this AI. So keeping an eye on that. They're not companies that I'm actually in. I've got AI plays. They're not ones, but again, that sector is what we're watching closely. Last week, we did have comments from the Fed suggesting that interest rates could be coming sooner rather than later after a weak jobs report. This week's inflation could take the spotlight with fresh data due that could influence their position. So again, we're looking for that data. We're looking at 2, if not 3, rate cuts this year, which again is a bullish thing for the market. Rates go down, makes it easier for companies to lend. If they can lend, they can buy more, invest more, all that good stuff. So we're keeping a close eye on all of this, guys. This is a serious make or break week. If this data doesn't go the right direction, and there's bad job data, these companies aren't performing pretty well with the AI. Historically, August being a bad month, I feel like we could be heading to Cape Town, so gotta watch that carefully. We'll have a look at the charts in a moment, which is telling us a bit of a story as well. The Wall Street Journal is reporting it's hurricane season for stocks. And as I said at the start of this video, take 5 when Dawn meets Vlad. Geopolitics is high on the agenda with a potential meeting between the US and Russian presidents, trade deadlines and talks. Writers have actually done a lovely little chart here. August is the month when volatility tends to surge. And if we have a look at this here, you can see it is the highest month. So do expect the next couple of months to be bumpy. I'm going to bet though that we're going to have buying opportunities, and I'm not going to be fearful of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my trading 212 portfolio, and we're going to have a bit of a look and see just how this is all looking for me and what I'm kind of doing to hedge my bets. Trading 212 portfolio, about £439 up on the week. I didn't do any trading really as such this week, mostly because the market momentum is going in the right direction, thankfully. This is my swing trade account. I do have my long hold account. I do have my crypto account, but this is the swing trading account, if you want to call it that. And if you scroll down, we can see here's some of the biggest holdings. Palantir, as always, is just pushing. This is pushing over 20% this week, 30% on the month. I mean, this thing has just been unbelievable. I have made a bucket load on Palantir, trading, selling, buying, dipping. This has been one that if we get a good dip this week, I will be buying more. It's just one that just keeps paying out, which is brilliant. AMD continuing the push. I did buy more of my AMD position on the pullback, sort of around here. I bought at 160. I had to. It was a good pullback. Really happy with that. We're looking for at least 200 bucks on AMD. Again, been very, very profitable. Hims and Hers, unfortunately, had a massive sell off. We were up as high as 64. I have trimmed quite a position size, not a lot of money left in it. And that has proven to be good buying and selling at 64 because we're down to 52 bucks. Waiting for a bit more of a pullback on that before I load up again on that. Tesla, story hasn't changed. Some of the bad when the Elon Musk, Donald Trump fallout happened, it sold quite a substantial position amount on that, and it's actually proven to probably not be that shrewd. It's continued to push on, so I would like a bigger position. So again, if we get pullbacks, these are the kind of positions that I'm going to be getting into. Dollar General is my hedge, and it has been performing really well as well. So yeah, bought about here in May, and it's been a good steady push since. This is my AI play, Candence. CDNS is the ticker symbol. Put it in the Discord about a month ago that I had opened up a position and it has performed really well, 6-7%. But there has been a bit of a pullback this week, as we can see. But again, looking for more buying opportunities on that. Apple, just to have Apple on the books, why not? And again, good earnings were from them, good push on them. This is a little tip off that I got. Thank you, Larry, for this one. This is pushed on really well. We're up nearly 40% on that. Small beer, though, really just a bit of a money maker for the laugh. Don't know what my exit point's going to be. Might continue holding. We'll just see. TKO, good long hold. I would like a bigger position. I've sold quite a bit of this here on the lead up to WrestleMania. I think we got out about 175. So yeah, around the sort of WrestleMania time, sold out. And yeah, probably would like a bit more in them. These are some of the other plays. American Battery Technology, we've done some great plays on this. Made a bucket load, sold at 350, which was fantastic, and it is sold off. So looking to open up a bigger position there. Uber is one that I'm holding for long. This is one that we covered in the video with the big beautiful bill video, which you can go on and have a look at. This is one that I feel will benefit from a lot of the tax benefits that Donald Trump is proposing. So that's a position that I would like to continue to grow into. So those are the kind of ones that I'm really focusing on. Cash position is only in and around £1,000. The only trade, the only thing that I sold, sorry, this week, and I'm sorry, Dave, for saying it, is Take Two. We were playing the Grand Theft Auto news and all that sort of build up, but unfortunately, Take Two looks like it's going to be delaying Grand Theft Auto, and I had about 500 quid in it, and I thought, get that out. So, yeah, I've about a grand here to play with, and I'm looking to pump that in across these positions here. I'm just going to hold them. You can see here I've got nice healthy positions. Hims and Hers is definitely one that I want to take advantage of. I was up about 130%. It is sold off, but I've made a good bit of bank on that. So I'm just keeping an eye on this portfolio. But realistically, I'm very happy with where this is all sitting. I do feel that there'll be buying opportunities, and I'll just phase that in over the coming month. But I don't even anticipate buying anything this week unless there's a serious shake up. I'm not interested in a 5-6% dip. I'm looking for something substantial in these positions before I'll be buying any more. Now let's have a look at the wider market. We can see that over the last few days there has been a bit of sort of sell-off, which has been great and healthy for the RSI. Has moved us down to sort of a more neutral level. We're starting to rise up again. MACD is potentially going to cross, potentially. So it looks quite bullish from this point of view. Obviously, we're well in a bull market. That's continuing to push on, which is nice. We can see that there is plenty of volume coming in. Good buying opportunities potentially. People are taking advantage of over the last week, especially when this big sell off. People were panicking. I know I had a good nibble around these prices, as I said, with AMD especially. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that the markets are going to push on. The data is what we're looking for. The news that we've just talked about is what we're looking for. And the NASDAQ is the exact same. That sell off brought us down to a more neutral level. We've pushed on. It looks near identical to the SPY chart. A nice buy symbol has come in here. And if we look at it on the weekly chart, we're out of sight, out of mind. We're really, really flying. Still shows momentum. It's going to be this data. It's as simple as that. The data bad, it's going to break it. If it's good, it's going to continue rallying. And yeah, I'm content, not selling, not panicking. If it sells off, I'll be buying. And that's just the way I'm going to play it. On my long hold position, I have about 20 grand free funds, plenty of money there. That's my really phase it in over a long period of time, dollar cost average, near enough just buying every time there's a real solid red day. But that's a long hold account. So I'm content. There's plenty of buying opportunities. And that's all I'm going to see them as if there's any pullbacks. Crypto, we have been fantastic on crypto recently. We have seen Ethereum break to 4,000. We were waiting for 4,000. Did a video on, very, very confident in it. Buying all these levels around 1,500, was never selling till 4,000. Delighted to say once we got to the 4,000, took some profit. I'm content with taking profit at these levels. It was always going to be tough to break. We're breaking and we're holding red day today, but we're still above 4,000. Where could it go? Well, you've got to say we're going to be pushing to 5,000. This is on the weekly, shows you good strength. On the daily, we can see here buy symbols coming in. It needed this cool off. Just like the markets, it had a sell off as well around this level, and it's been pushing. I foresee, especially with this MACD, as you can see, crossing over. Ethereum looks to be lagging. It looks now to be catching up. I suspect good momentum in Ethereum, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment because some great TA in the Discord. Bitcoin starting to push again, but it has sold off. And what we always find is Bitcoin leads the way. It does what it does, and everything follows suit. The sell off in Bitcoin would sort of suggest a rotation, and that is what I have been doing. If we look at the Discord now, Davey, legend, putting plenty of stuff in here, and he is suggesting that she's on her way to 4.8, which again would suggest that all-time high level should be there, and that's natural. I just feel that it will push to there again. Happy to take profits of 4,000 because it was a tough level to break, and it was just a fundamental area that I've been waiting on for like 2 years. So I was happy to take some profits. But yeah, I'm with Dave on this. I do feel that we'll get to all time highs, of course, and we will push on. And he's again commenting on the fact that the Fed will do a rate drop in September. People are banking on that type of news. And he has also said here Bitcoin is falling, moving into altcoins. And I completely 100% agree with his technical analysis here. Dave is being a great contributor to the Discord and very knowledgeable in what he is sharing. And there's nothing that I can disagree with. He's even being really bullish here by saying potentially Ethereum this side of the year could go to 10,000. Very bullish statement, but I think realistically we're aiming for 6,000 at least, and that's probably my new target now, 6,000. So I've done my trimming. I'm going to be buying. If there's any good pullbacks this week, just like I've said, got a nice wee healthy position in crypto. I've moved a lot of money into altcoins. I'm expecting the markets to continue the push. I think we've got at least 10, maybe 12 weeks left of the crypto bull run. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. So we're looking at 3 more months. Whatever happens over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'm really not concerned. I do feel that it'll just be buying opportunities, buy the dip before the rip, and that's it. That's just my practice. That's just what I've been doing for the last sort of year, and it's worked out really, really well. We do know what's coming down the road. This is all going to start crashing eventually, but I just don't foresee it happening this time. I feel like there could be some noise. Definitely, it could be a bit nervy for people, but I'm just going to trust the process, trust what I'm seeing here. But I am looking out for that job data. I am looking for the S&P, Nasdaq to go bearish, and I'm looking for bad earnings. And if those things start to change, my attitude will start to change. But right now, not panicked, not worried at all about the noise that I'm reading in the papers. It is a bad historic month, but again, it always works out usually fine afterwards. So we'll err on the side of that trend. Take this as a buying opportunity. I'd love to get your thoughts down below. Do you think we're going to Cape Town, or do you think this run is going to continue, or with Tom Hankin for the rest of the month? I hope so. That's my thoughts. Please leave your comments down below. Please subscribe if you find the video interesting and informative, and I'll catch you all in the next video.